Salam Sejahtera and good day to everyone. My name is Ying and my metric number is 24305453. My research title is Impact of Energy Consumption on Carbon Dioxide Emission and Forest Cover Change in Malaysia. So this study examines how diesel consumption, electricity consumption and also natural gas consumption affect the environmental sustainability in Malaysia from 1990 to 2022. So this study examined the impact of energy consumption on carbon emission and also forest cover change using the annual data from 1990 to 2022. So the ADL method was used because it allowed the estimation for both short-run and long-run relationship. So the main finding is that the diesel consumption significantly increased the CO2 emission, while no long-run relationship was found for the forest cover change. Malaysia energy consumption increased significantly from 1990 to 2022. So during the same period, CO2 emission also increased from 64.4 million tons to 277 million tons. So forest cover also declined from 62.8% to 57.9%. Although many studies examine the energy consumption and emissions, but a few studies analyze both carbon emission and forest cover change together using the Malaysia data. This study used to analyze how energy consumption affects the CO2. There are three hypotheses. The first is energy consumption has significant positive relationship with CO2 emission. The second one is energy consumption is significantly relationship with forest cover change. The third one is CO2 emission have significant relationship with energy consumption and forest cover change. There are three theories that support this research. The first one is environmental Kuznets curve, which is EKC, which explains how environmental degradation increased during the economic development. The second one is sustainable development theory, which emphasizes the balancing growth and environmental protection. The third one is ecological modernization theory, which suggests the technology and policy reform can improve the environmental quality. Next is the methodology. So I use quantitative analysis with annual time series data from 1990 to 2022, which 33 observations in total. So the dependent variable is CO2 emission and forest cover change. So the independent variable are diesel, natural gas and also electricity consumption. So the data come from the reliable source, which is World Bank, Energy Commission Malaysia and also Department of the Statistics. Two econometric model was developed. So the model 1 examined the impact of energy consumption on the CO2 emission, and the model 2 is examining the impact on forest cover chain FCC. So the analysis include the descriptive statistic, correlation analysis, ADF unit root test, and also RDL bond test, and also the last one is ECM, area collection model. The descriptive statistics shows that the average carbon emission CO2 reached 176.71 million tons, while the forest cover chain FCC record a negative average value of negative 0.2446%. So the correlation analysis indicate that a strong positive relationship between the energy consumption and also CO2 emission. So the strongest correlation was observed between the electricity consumption and CO2 with a coefficient of 0.988. So this suggests that increasing energy consumption is closely associated with environmental degradation. The ADF test used to test that the all variable either integrated at level of first difference. So the ARDL method is appropriate. So the ARDL bond test shows the F statistic of 7.457, which exceeds the upper critical bond. So this shows a long run relationship Among all the energy variables, diesel consumption was the only significant contributor to the CO2 emission, which highlight its environmental impact in Malaysia. The ECM coefficient is negative and significant, as we can see in the table. So this means that approximated 49.7% and 34.2% of shortland, this equilibrium is corrected within the 1 year. So for the long-run relationship, diesel consumption was found to have a significant positive impact on CO2 emission. But electricity and natural gas consumption were no statistic significantly. So this indicates that the diesel remained the major source of carbon emission in Malaysia. The finding supports the environmental curve theory. The Malaysia appear to remain in the upward phase of development, while economic growth and energy consumption continue to increase the emission. So this result also suggests that the FCC is influenced by the factor beyond the energy consumption, such as the land use policy, urbanization, and also agricultural activities. In conclusion, energy consumption has an important effect on the environmental sustainability in Malaysia. Diesel consumption significantly increased the CO2 emission, and also a long-run relationship exists among the variable. So the policymakers should reduce the diesel dependency, promote a cleaner energy source, and strengthen the forest conservation policy. For the future studies may include the renewable energy, urbanization, and also the technological innovation variables. Thank you for your hearing.